Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about driving. I have finally started my driving lessons. In case anyone doesn't know, I'm 22 years old and I've just started. I literally had my second lesson today and I actually didn't know what I was going to film for this week's video, but I'm so impressed with what I've done that I just felt I had to share it and kind of give people an idea of what your first lesson will be like, in case you don't know. So I have signed up with Red Driving School, basically because where I live, I don't know anyone who's done driving lessons around here, so I couldn't really get a recommendation. But my friend's sister is actually a driving instructor, and she posted on Facebook saying that her sister was looking for some more students, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the right time because I want to learn to drive, and she just happened to be with Red, so yeah, that's who I am currently with. And when you sign up with them and you have your first lesson, you get given one of these, and this is just a record of, okay, that's very washed out. So it tells you all the stuff you need to learn, and then you can tick off what you've done. So it's guided, prompted, and independent. So obviously the first few times everything's going to be completely guided because you're brand new. But yeah, I just thought I would give some tips and tricks for your first lesson. So with Red, or I don't know if this is Red in general or just my driving instructor, but they do 2-hour lessons. So a lot of places only do 1 hour, but I actually strongly recommend 2-hour. I mean, I haven't done a 1 hour, so I don't really know like the comparisons between the two, but 2 hours for me is the correct amount. I don't think I could have a 1 hour lesson because 2 hours is like the amount of time you need to like process the maneuver you're going to be doing and then have a lot of time to practice it. So on my first lesson, they take you through all the controls. They tell you the cockpit routine, which basically is making sure that you're comfortable in the car and you're ready to drive it. Everything comes with practice, so don't expect to be amazing on your first time. I have been putting off my driving lessons because I was really worried I was going to be really bad at it, if I'm being honest. But actually it's not that bad, and when you get to do it, it's just a really great feeling, and I'm honestly so proud of myself. So in the first lesson, they also tell you about the precautions, and you have to learn how to use the accelerator, the clutch, and the brake, which are the 3 pedals in the car. My flatmate actually told me a good way of remembering the order of the pedals is can't be asked. So it's clutch, brake, accelerate, and CBA, can't be asked to drive. And my battery's gonna run out, great. And we're back. What was the saying? My mum said ABC, but that's actually going backwards, so it's a little bit confusing, so I go with CBA. My driver gave me an emphasis on how to steer correctly, which I definitely improved on this time around. So my first lesson went surprisingly well. I was very happy with myself. Like I said, I have been trying to put lessons off because, well, first of all, because I didn't feel the need to have a car. However, I'm becoming more aware of how much I want to drive and how much I want my own car to go to places and see friends. So it's kind of become like a necessity, but also it feels like I'm ready to do it. In the UK, you can get a provisional license at 17. I believe it's 17. Yeah, I think it's 17. And you can start having lessons at 17. I knew when I was that age that I didn't want to learn to drive. I was very... Sammy Paul just liked my tweet about the music video we filmed yesterday. He was saying how much he likes reading my things I do in a day, like the good things I do in a day on my Twitter. Bless him. Me and him are like besties now. No, I'm kidding. I actually didn't even know. My friend was like, oh my gosh, you're working with Sammy Paul. And I'm like, I don't know who that is, but yeah, I am. Anyway, moving on. Right, so if the lighting looks different, it's basically because it's several hours after the first bits that I filmed because my flatmate came home and now she's gone back out again. And I only like to film when no one's in the flat. So anyway, so what were we talking about? First driving lesson. So she taught me all the basic things, and because I was doing a 2-hour session, which was also half price, it was like 2 hours for the price of one. And it gave me a better chance to kind of really practice what she taught me. So we were sat talking for about 25 minutes, maybe 25, half an hour. going through all the controls, all the procedures you have to do before you start the car. And if I only had an hour lesson, that would only give me like half an hour to practice, which I don't know, maybe some people are okay with that, but for me, I feel like with driving, I'm gonna be quite a slow learner and I really need that time to practice whatever it is she's teaching me. Yeah, so I had quite a long time just to go, I was going around in like a circle, basically turning left each time. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was gonna be. I honestly thought I was gonna be horrific. Anyone who knows me in real life knows that my kind of peripheral vision and my sense of direction and spatial awareness is just not great. So I really thought I was going to struggle with the whole driving thing, but I didn't. And honestly, if I can do it, you can do it. So that was a very brief summary of what they taught me on my first lesson. My instructor, I chose to have, well, I say I chose to have a woman. I wanted a woman. Like I mentioned, I didn't really know who to go with near where I live. So it just so happened that it was my friend's sister, which has worked out really, really well. And she's lovely. If you are interested, I will leave a link to her page down below. And then you get, a discount for £32 for a 2-hour lesson, which is actually pretty decent because 1 hour lessons is usually like between 25 and like 30. So that's a pretty good deal. And then today I had my second lesson and oh my God, I actually can't believe how much I accomplished in the space of 2 hours today. So when we got in, she kind of asked me what I wanted to do, and obviously being a very new driver, I don't know if there's a specific order that they're meant to teach you things, or, you know, I don't really know what they're meant to teach us. I know the very basics, but yeah. So when she asked me, I didn't really know what to say, but I did know that I wanted to go over what we'd done last week. She was like, okay, cool, we'll do that for the first however long it was. And I was worried that I wasn't gonna remember how to do the controls, which sounds really stupid. I think once you've done it, you kind of, you know, remember how to do it. It was actually really weird. The first lesson that I had, when I was driving, it felt like I'd done it before and I knew sort of what I was meant to be doing. It was a really weird feeling. But yeah, so the first time I did stall quite a few times and she was making me feel so bad. She's like, when you break my car, I'm gonna make you pay for it, which she said in a joking way, but it's also pretty serious. But yeah, so I stalled quite a few times, which is to be expected with a first time driver on your first lesson. And today I only stalled twice and I'm so proud of myself. And both times were because I was a bit flustered by something, like one car was like coming towards me, or there was something that was happening that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting nervous. Okay. And then I stalled. But other than that, it was so well. And because where I live, there's a lot of roundabouts and there's a lot of hills, it kind of forced me into that sort of situation. So I'd actually done a mini roundabout, which is basically just a normal junction really, on my first lesson, which I was kind of worried about, but because it's only a mini roundabout, it was fine. And then today I did a hill start and I reversed. I'm like so proud of myself. I honestly don't know how I did it. So both happened sort of by accident. So the area that we're driving around is like 2-3 minutes down the road from where I live. So we came down this like narrow street because loads of cars were parked on one side, so I had to be on the right hand side of the road. But someone was like in front of me and had stopped, and the person coming towards us couldn't get through because obviously this other car was like on the other side of the road, and neither of them would reverse to like let the other through. So my driving instructor was like, okay, well today we're gonna learn how to reverse. And that was a scary feeling. And I didn't realize how much like kind of strain it puts on your neck because I'm quite short as well. I really had to like turn over my shoulder to see where I was going. But I did it. I reversed on my second lesson and honestly, I'm shocked. And then with the hill start, she told me to go straight on, and it turns out we were going up a hill and she was like, okay, now we're gonna learn how to do a hill start. And I've always heard that hill starts are really, really tricky, but I didn't stall. I did a hill start twice? Yeah, 2 times. And I didn't stall either time and I was so proud of myself. I'm so chuffed. And she also made me do a few right-hand turns, which was a little bit more difficult because obviously you're going to the opposite side of the road instead of just following it round. That is something I definitely need to practice. I'm so excited to kind of learn, and I honestly want to learn really quickly because I just want to get a car and drive, but obviously these things take time. I have also purchased these 3 books, although 2 of them are literally just test books from AA, and it's the highway code, and it basically tells you all the stuff you need to know, all the road signs, which will help pass your theory test, which I have yet to pass. I've been doing, hold on, I'll get my phone. So I've been using this app called Theory 4-in-1. I had to pay $4.99 for it, but Chris recommended it to me. And it's basically tells you all the stuff you need to know. So you can learn with this. So it's basically the highway code and it tells you everything, or you can do practice tests. I have yet to pass a practice theory test, but I did do a hazard perception today and I passed. I only barely passed. I literally got the minimum you can get. But I did pass, and that was on my second go. The thing that I know I have to work on is just my confidence. Confidence with me is something that I always lack when I start something new, and I said that to her. But patience and confidence and just practicing. Just practice and you can get your driving license. And I will update you, or I say I'll update you, I'll probably do a video once I finally pass, which probably won't be for a while. But yeah, I wanted to make this video in case it helps anyone. So yeah, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon for another video.